Most noble King Arthur, I am writing to formally apologize for... No, that isn't right. Most noble and honorable King Arthur, No, that's still not right. But then, what is the right way to go about this? How can I begin to apologize to this man for all the hurt my family has caused him? Okay. Most honorable, noble, and venerable King Arthur, I am writing to express my regret for a great many things, I suppose. I write on the eve of my birthday celebration. I was ripped from the festivities by a certain disconcerting feeling I find it difficult to explain. You see, I have just rejoined with my son, Yijun, after his most recent trip to your court. I have been restless ever since his initial contact with you, but something about this interaction left me unable to sit idly by. Yijun, you see, returned with word of your knight Lancelot's absence from your court. I have met Lancelot myself. He is among the most honorable men I have ever met, and easily outranks my own son in this regard. I cannot help but fret over his disappearance, and my musings on the subject in the last several hours have led me to a stomach-turning conclusion. I am to blame for whatever fate has befallen Lancelot. Though my son Yijun and several of my own blunders, I am responsible for this and so much more. Perhaps it is Yijun who should craft this apology, but then apologies and writing were never among his skills. Still, an apology has to be made. I myself feel sickened by the acts done to you and your most trusted companions in my family's name. My son may be as shameful as they come, but I intend to do all that I can to cling to the last speck of honor I retain after this ordeal. As such, I will continue with my apology. I think for the sake of simplicity, and regrettably my own forgetfulness, that it would be best to outline my specific repentances in numeric fashion. Perhaps in this format, it will be easiest for you to take stock of the injuries you've endured from my son, and eventually to reach a state of forgiveness and understanding. This is more than I may rightfully expect, but I sincerely entreat your absolution from Yijun's decision to intrude on your house, your knights, and your lovely wife, Guinevere. The Queen has been nothing but a perfect guest since her arrival here, and in spite of the circumstances under which she arrived. And every night I've encountered has been a pleasure in its own right. You have a lovely courtly assemblage in every respect. What Yijun has taken, though all may be returned physically, was inexcusable. Also, for everything that happened to Lancelot, even before he came up missing. How many trials did he have to endure simply to get to the Lord? And even then, what waited for him here? I did my best to be a courteous host, but Yijun undermined my attempts at clemency towards our guests at every turn. I also would like to apologize for twice interfering on my son's behalf during battles with Lancelot. As clearly wicked as Yijun is, my paternal instinct is to allow me to simply watch him die. He has no honor, in my view or anyone else's, but his life holds value for his father. Even for one so dishonorable, it would appear that his father had never even taught him the most elementary of manners based on his conduct in these duels. Lancelot relented, as agreed to, and Yijun struck at an unarmed man. Also, for all of the shame heaped onto Lancelot during his venture to find Gawain, another of your knights, he was made out to be a villain and a criminal wanted by myself. As I'm sure your wife has informed you, the misunderstanding that arose from this premise nearly resulted in the deaths of both Lancelot and the Queen. She certainly cares for the members of your court, and I'm especially sorry to have distressed her in such a manner. And of course, I would like to apologize for all of the horses that have died as a result of Yijun's poor decisions, and Lancelot's haste to save the victims of those poor decisions. What an utter waste, and such a... It all sounds so hollow. I can't deliver this puppet apology. No words will be worth even the paper I write them on, or the time it takes for me to read them. And nothing can change the fact that Lancelot is still missing. If only there was a way to repair the damage I've done. Unless, that is, my daughter, so clever and ever the favorite, she owes Sir Lancelot a favor. If she can repay him his debt, if she and that noble steed of hers can find him, then she will repay all the debts her brother has incurred to me. Our family's honor will be spared, and my honor will be safe. We'll fit the mule with a proper saddle, and the pair of them will ride for redemption. Thank you.
I'm waiting for a long time. Okay, we shall follow our info on the page. Let's see what we got today. I say to the man who's standing next to the hearse, and he comes near to me, like what he did last 2 days, and now this kisses again. And he comes here and kisses me 3 times. And that's it? What? Did I miss anything? What about the girdle? Did he mention that? I don't think so. It is likely that he wants to keep this private. But let's break our agreement. By heaven, have had some luck, I said craftily. Since you took up this trip, if the terms were good. I say this, hoping he will confess. I know everything. I know that the lady gave him the girl. I just want to encourage him to talk about it by saying this. It is like I just directly telling you I know you got something good. But Gavin chose to conceal the girdle and says, never trouble about the terms. That's all that I owe here is openly paid. Oh, really? Okay, now he's late. But it seems like that there's nothing I can do to force him to tell the truth right now. We'll see. Okay. As time goes by, here's New Year's Day. I get up and dress up early, and I wait in the Green Chapel, and I heard someone calling out, "Hey, anyone here? Mr. Brown? I'm here to blah blah blah." That's he. And we had a brief greeting, and I hit him 3 times. And it is so funny to look at his face when he finds out that, oh, the Lord and the brunette is the same person. And they all are as poor as sweat peas, more precious and prized. So is God, in good taste, but other delight. I paused for a while to create suspense. Yet you left, sir, a little loyalty here. I told him about the girdle, and I can see shame on his face. This is great. He knows it is improper to conceal the truth now. But maybe there's also a little anger because we are broken. So I tried to console him. I hold you polished as a gold, as pure as and as bright as you have lived free of fault, since first you were born. And I give you, sir, this girdle, that is gold hair. And even though he has told a lie, it's just a game, right? Don't be mad at me. I hope it will feel better.
Hey, Marky. Yes, of course, babe, I can make it to the thing tonight. Who are you with? Oh, Tristan? He's such a drag, but I guess. Tell him I say hi. Yeah, I'm just waiting for my gal at that cute spot on Main Street. She's been soups weird lately. Ew. Is Froky with you? No, I just think he's weird, babe. Not the kind of dude you want to hang out with. He's jealous of you, baby cakes. Yeah, okay. Say whatever you want, Marky Poo, but I wouldn't trust the guy. I'll talk to you later. All right. Yep. Love you too. Bye-bye. Oh, and tell Tristan I got his text about the, love grotto. He'll know what it means. Yep. Okay. Bye, babe. Yes. Bye. Okay, Mark, I get it. I love you too. Yes. Okay, bye, Mark. I'm hanging up. Oh my God, what is taking her so long? Why does she do this to me? I'm literally starving. I can't stand her. She is such a bitch. Oh, Branny. That's it. I missed you, girl. How are you, baby? I see you stopped at Starves.
Yeah, I just really needed my caffeine this morning. But anyway, let's talk about you. How are you and Tristan? Is everything like okay with you two? Does Mark know the hops, or is he still playing it dumb?
Everything's great. I have Mark totes under control, and Tristan wrapped around my finger. I was super worried after the party last weekend, but I think everybody got too blacked out to remember anything.
Well, I mean, I remember.
Of course. Of course you do. You were my designated driver as always, silly.
Yeah, about that.
You always do this little passive-aggressive thing, and it's like so annoying. I wish you would just say what you mean.
You like tried to kill me?
Oh my God! What's with the aggression? Also, what are you even talking about?
At the party Eventually, you got mad at me for like whatever reason and started saying stuff about how I was gonna like betray you, how you couldn't trust me, and then I slept with Mark, which I did like for you. I'm still really confused as to how your blockhead boy didn't realize he was hooking up with me instead of you. And then you got Mark's football dudes to throw me into the pool, and you sure as hell know I can't swim. And I was sniffling and sobbing, and my mascara got all over my face, and I looked like a lake monster from like Botnos Lake place.
What? I definitely don't remember that. Are you sure that happened?
Yeah, we had to get an ambulance and everything. I got mouth to mouth from an old dude.
I think you've had too many fraps. You know how you get when you have too much caffeine. You get all accusatory. I mean, honestly, honey, it would make you look ugly. Also,
You literally tried to kill me, dude!
Brian! There are other people enjoying a delicious brunch. Please, watch your tone and think about other people for once in your life. Speaking of which, here's our waiter. I would kill for a stuffed French toast and mocha refill. And I don't think a mocha would kill you either, B.
Are you seriously kidding me right now?
No. And even if it is true, it's kinda your fault. I mean, girl, you hooked me and Tristan up in the first place, and then you helped me cheat on Mark, remember?
Okay, I'm leaving. You are absolutely delusional, and I don't need this. Next time you need someone to make out with your pimply JV football elephant of a boyfriend, call Brittany, or Lacey, or Steph, or Katie, or maybe even Sammy, but not Brandon.
Brandon, wait! We're still besties, though, right?
Oh my god, yeah, God, I love you, girl.
Love you too, bitch.
Here on the day, Lancelot has defeated the evil Meliagon in a fight for the queen. He runs up the tower staircase to where the queen is and embraces her.
Oh, my dear Guinevere. What is it, my queen? I have just defeated Meliagon for you. We can finally be together.
Lancelot leaves the room, grieving over the queen's rejection. Lancelot, unsure of how to handle his grief, realizes he is no longer wanted at the castle and begins to look for Sir Gawain, a fellow knight of the Round Table. Unknown to Lancelot, the natives have heard of his victory and leave from the castle, armed and went to capture him and return him to the king. As Lancelot's escort has been disarmed, Lancelot stood no chance and was taken as prisoner.
Oh, zut alors.
The natives meant no harm, but only intended to bring Lancelot back to his king. Word of the brave knight's capture spread, and rumor turned into a tale of Lancelot's death. Eventually, word reached the queen. This is half queen and half narrator. The queen became... The queen became so grief-stricken by these words, she fell into a stupor. She refused all food and drink, focusing all her energy on mourning her beloved.
Well done.
As the queen continued to refuse food and drink, rumors began to spread of her death as well. Once word of the queen's death reached Lancelot, he too was overcome with grief.
Oh, mon Dieu.
In a moment of piteous heartache, the brave knight attempted to take his own life. The knight stopped, realizing the cowardice in his actions. Finally, news that the queen was indeed alive reached Lancelot. He immediately headed back to his love.
Castle cheese.
Lancelot approached the castle and bounded up the stairs again. Lancelot entered the queen's chambers, and she ran to him, embracing him in a hug at this time. They sat and chatted for quite some time, happy to see that the other was alive.
Oh, my queen. My lady, please tell me why you wouldn't talk to me after my victory.
Lancelot, my love, it was your own honor put into question. You riding on that cart, I suppose, made me question my knight. It was a sick joke, my not talking to you. I thought it would be funny to ignore you for a while.
Are you kidding me? It was a joke. I almost lost my life because of a joke. Mon Dieu.
I've always been precocious, always beyond my years and my peers. It was never an issue then, being better and more capable than a young girl really should be, but maybe it's because I was a daughter of a duke and a fair maiden, a nobler birth than many in the country. But that meant nothing if my own mother ignored my most important vision and is instead fooled by the simplest and foulest magic. My father, dead elsewhere, and she believes in the form right in front of her. Everything is at the face value with her, contented with believing there is nothing amiss anywhere, especially not in her own castle. I watch as this foul man has his way with my mother, with the magic slipping away and revealing his true form. Lest the magic drove him here, and it drove my father to his own death, killed by swords and spears. His corpse returns to us in the morning, and the truth hits my mother harder than anyone in court. She languishes in bed, angry, while another man's child is inside her. Barely a month passes before the same man that appeared that night comes to our castle once again and takes my little mother's hand in marriage, swooping in to take what is his. My mother has no choice in the matter, though, because that's what a woman in her position has to do. I, on the other hand, refuse to accept the situation at all. But thankfully, the marriage snags after 9 months when their child, my half-brother, was taken away by the same magician who brought that man into our lives. The deal must be honored, Merlin said, and the baby was taken away to who really knows where. My mother screamed for her child and still yearned for him, even as I was sent away to a convent by her new husband, who couldn't bear the fact that I knew why he was in our house in the first place. Or maybe it was simply because he couldn't stand to see my father's eyes still plague him after death. But being away from that foul man still did not ease my hatred I felt for him for sending my father to an early grave. No matter how far I went to a nunnery or to France, I would see he got his due. My time in the convent was well spent. I learned the 7 arts, I learned the art of shape-shifting, I learned the stars and about prophecies, about magic darker than the shadow of night. I gained the tools to blind the judgment of any man, to glitch anyone's heart and have him do my bidding. I am ready to do anything necessary to bring my stepfather to justice. It's been many years since I was sent away from my own home to study with nuns. Luther Pendragon is long dead, thankfully, but I still haven't exacted my revenge against him. His son, my half-brother, is thankfully alive and well, and getting married right before my eyes. His knights are all around and proud of their king, especially that Lancelot, who can't take his eyes away from the king and his bride. The great and wise Merlin is off to the side, sulking like an uninvited guest. Everyone who had a hand in ruining my family's independence, Arthur and his advisor Merlin, I spent many days, months, and years patiently planning for this very moment. And today, I plan revenge to be set into motion.
Why, hello, Isolde. What purpose are you making this magic?
Shh! No one must know of my meddlings, especially poor little Isolde.
Well, she did seem rather distraught over the arrangement. Marriage to an older gentleman whose adopted son killed her own uncle seems rather messy.
Let bygones be bygones, Brandon. Plus, we're joining our grand state of Ireland to a very powerful ally.
How can you say that? This is your own brother's killer we're talking about.
Sure, I was so angry at first at that tricky Tristan. My daughter even almost killed the man when he was most vulnerable in the bathtub. Bless her heart. But there are greater powers at play to focus on. We must make sure this union between Isolde and King Mark goes well and prevents the war at all costs.
I suppose you're right.
Plus, that Tristan is quite charming. Even after I healed him, when I discovered he executed my dear brother, I couldn't stay upset for too long. He has such a way with words.
Yeah, he does. That cunning little face doesn't hurt either. If he's taking her Isolde and ushering her to her new home, then I guess she's in safe hands.
Indeed. Now pass me the rosemary herb.
Okay, so why are you making this potion again?
I thought it'd be obvious by now. It's for my dear baby Isolde. It's a love potion.
Love potion? Why on earth would you make a love potion for your own daughter?
Well, Brandon, it's been a couple years, but do you remember my wedding night to my dear departed husband?
Not really. That's not something I want to hear about.
Well, I'll spare you the details. But the point is, the only reason it went so well was because of this little potion right here. And if my wedding night went so well, then my daughter Isolde's wedding should go well should go well as well. Especially if she gets cold feet.
But isn't it dangerous to use magic like that?
Now listen carefully, Brandon. This potion is not something to fool around with. It can only be used once, so it must be used only on Isolde's wedding night. This magic lasts forever, so you have to be really careful.
Don't worry, Assault. I'll take real good care of it. Besides, what's the worst that can happen? She falls in love with King Mark's son and starts to work for Tuna?
Nah. Now, Brandon, here's the potion. Protect it with your life and don't leave it unattended for any circumstances.
I would never.
You're sure?
Yes. What's the worst that can happen? A maid takes a bottle away while I'm not looking for something coming up this drink? Please.
That's oddly specific. Anyway, the fate of the union between Cornwall and Ireland rests on your shoulders.
Yes, I know. You don't have to guilt trip me. I'll take real good care of this.
I can't believe I've been convinced to do this. I should have ignored the counsel of that imp, Rachael. My men probably paid him to advise I do this. Climb the tallest pine tree and await a romantic rendezvous with my nephew and beloved wife. There's no way I would let them be so. Wait. It is my nephew. What's he doing there? Surely he hasn't seen me. Good. I'm hidden.
Friend Tristan, will you please allow me to speak first? Do you know what hour it is?
Well, I was...
Allow me to finish, sir. We often meet to counsel each other, as you are a dear friend, and I feel a kinship with you for bringing me safely to my beloved husband and being kind to me, but I fear how my husband would react if he knew how you called me at this hour.
Forgive me, my queen. I knew not what to do. I've been banished by the king, who I love for reasons I know not of. I'm desperate for his friendship, and I cannot make right what I have wronged if I am not aware of what I have done to disappoint mine uncle.
Oh, friend, my husband is complicated. He's a mysterious ruler. He's strong, brave, and handsome, very handsome. And you must understand how it would look if I were to inquire of him why you were called off. But I have reason to believe that Mark is convinced that you and I are in love.
In love? That's preposterous!
I know! Oh, can you imagine you and I in love?
Yeah, totally ridiculous.
No, I would rather die than be in love with another man other than my lord. I mean, you're like a brother to me.
Yes! And you are like a little sister to me. You know, many of my uncle's friends are jealous of me and my friendship with him and you, my queen. Perhaps they have taken to spreading foul rumors about me.
I know not the ploys of the men my husband receives counsel from, but I do know this. My husband, the king, is a fair man, and he would not banish thee if he had no reason. So perhaps this is all a huge misunderstanding, but there is one opinion that matters beyond that of the king. And that is the opinion of our Lord God. Dear Tristan, my friend, worry not about your uncle. If you have done no wrong, like you say, then God will know. And despite your banishment here, he will grant you a place in the kingdom of heaven.
Thank you, my queen. You are right. I should focus on remaining a dignified man, and then Mark, like God himself, shall forgive me for whatever it is I have done.
We should both look to God to aid you in this dire time. Perhaps prayer will bring his mercy. I shall spend every night on my knees until you are allowed to return home.
I believe you are right, my good queen. Prayer is the answer. I must plunge deep, deep, deep into scripture until his heavenly voice cry out to me.
people they have become.
Good night, Tristan. Sleep well. I hope to see you return to the castle soon. Take care.
How foolish have I been? I was a moment away from killing my own nephew, who has done nothing to deserve death and nothing to deserve banishment either. I have banished the only honest counsel I have, doubted the honesty of my faithful wife, and now here I sit, the king and an idiot sitting in a pine tree.
Last night, a verdict was reached in the Yijun v. Merlin case. The case has been going on for over 2 continuous months now as the prosecution and defense go back and forth over the paternity rights to the child, Arthur. The prosecution also charged Merlin with the alleged kidnapping and bribery. On the side of the prosecution sat Yijun, looking demure and modest as she watched the proceedings. When she was taken to the stand at the beginning of the trial, she gave a tear-jerking testimony of the way Merlin ripped her newborn baby from her arms on the night she gave birth, all while Uther Pendragon stood by and watched. It was alleged that a deal had been struck between Uther and Merlin, that if Merlin used his magic to disguise Uther as Yijun's late husband for one night, any child born as a result of said night would be Merlin's. Yijun claimed that she had no knowledge of this deal. After she left the stand, overcome by emotion, her lawyer elaborated on her story, as she had been too distraught to speak clearly. Apparently, Yijun had not been made aware that Uther was the father of Arthur until the night the child was born. Merlin used magic to disguise Uther as the Duke of Tintagel, Yijun's husband. Although Uther had already slain the Duke at this point, Yijun was tricked into thinking it was her husband who entered the room that night. She was unaware of both the deal between Merlin and Uther and of the real identity of her lover. Such a case was presented by the prosecution and supported with multiple witnesses. On one such witness was Morgan, Yijun's first daughter with her late husband. Morgana claimed to have been in the room with her mother when Uther entered, disguised as the Duke, and saw him take advantage of her unknowing mother. She stated that although Uther had been aware of Morgana's presence in the room, his inappropriate actions were not deterred. The jury was particularly shocked by this detail, though the defense requested this testimony be struck from the record, claiming that she is too young to give an accurate record and that her memory is surely tainted by emotion. The defense team struggled to present a case as airtight as the prosecution. However, the defense has something the prosecution did not: powerful influence. Merlin and Judge Tannenbaum have had a public friendship that goes back years. It is rumored that Tannenbaum's vacation at Merlin's cottage once a year in the wintertime, during which Merlin and the judge engage in hunting, and the wives and children enjoy the countryside. With such a connection existing, the validity of the trial has been questioned, and critics believe the relationship unfairly swayed the judge. Merlin's lawyer made the claim that the kidnapping of Arthur was actually the upholding of an unbreakable vow Merlin had previously made with Uther. The claim rested in Prop 6745, stating that full paternity rights go to the father unless the court states otherwise. The claim continues that since Uther had full paternity over Arthur, he was therefore within his rights to make the vow concerning his son. The jury was deadlocked for 3 days before releasing their votes last night, 2 hours before the moon's zenith. The jurors sided with Merlin 10-2, and the judge upheld this decision. Judge Tannenbaum stated, although Yijun experienced some personal trauma at the forced removal of her child, the removal itself cannot be legally contested. As stated in the Constitution of the Knightly Code, any unbreakable vow overrides the claims of those not directly involved. Merlin was rightfully upholding an unbreakable vow made with the child's father, who under the medieval code of law Prop 6745 has full paternity and was therefore within his rights to include Arthur in the vow. Furthermore, to uphold the decision made in the case Sleeping Beauty v. Birdwoman, any child whose personal or future lineage is involved in the destiny of our great nation is exempt from the normal laws controlling paternity and child rights. As such, the decision made by the jury in favor of Merlin is both constitutional and morally justifiable. Since the decision was released last night, multiple advocacy groups have started campaigning on behalf of Yijun for a retrial. There is a rally being held in the village square at 8 hours past the rooster's crow of any listeners dying to become involved. Respectfully submitted, the medieval court reporter.
Fellow guests, happy Christmas! I know everyone must be extremely famished, however, matters must be attended to first. I demand a game of sorts to begin a meal, or else no man shall put a piece of mutton to his lips. Who may oblige me?
My king, what kind of entertainment would you like? Go on a hunt, quest, go make a nice rash promise with some random man in the forest. We could let Guinevere get kidnapped and go save her again. Or
The entertainment has arrived!
And who are you? Golly, who is this man?
no clue, sir. For he's clad in all green, as is his horse. A great and strong steed, and hard to hold, with broidered bridle, meet forth the rider.
Sir, thou art welcome in this place. Lord of this hall am I, and men call me Arthur. Sit, take a water, have a beer. Why thy will is, shall we learn later.
Nay, it is not my wish to have a beer and dwell in this place, but to see the men who are praised so highly, to praise the men who are known as the best and most valiant, those who ride mail-clad to the fight. I have traveled far without my armor, and seek no war, but only for me to grant what I ask.
Sir Knight, if thou cravest battle here, thou shalt not fail for lack of a foe.
Nay, I ask no fight in faith here. On the benches are but beardless children. Were I clad in armor on my steed, there is no man here might match me. Therefore, I ask in this court but a Christmas jest. For this Yuletide and New Year, there are many named fame for sport. If many man in this hall thinks he is strong enough to strike me, I will give him my axe. And as a gift, if he shall succeed, then please give me the right to deal him another in a year and a day. Now, does anyone take my offer?
What fun game!
My lord,
Oh dear. The axe is suffering.
my lord, please sit down before you hurt somebody.
Keep well, thy nephew. Let the games begin.
Hey, this is bad. We're breaking here. Go ahead.
Take that! Are you not entertained?
Dear God, what type of sorcery is this?
My abilities are no concern of yours, but I will save this. You too have the ability to have your head cut off, Sir Gawain. Come to the Green Chapel in a year today, and you will suffer the blow of my axe.
But what's your name? Where do you live?
I am the Green Knight of the Green Chapel. When the time comes, my home will appear to you, Sir Gawain.
As Arthur's most honorable knight, and a man of my word, I vow to you, sir, I will meet you at the chapel and play whatever games you instruct.
I shall see you in a year and a day. Gawain, next time it'll be you who's the head.
What a wonderful magical pre-dinner show! Golly, put the axe on the dais for all to admire. Now let us eat.
Her is still in, right? I mean, this is a beautiful dress. I'm practically wearing nothing. How could Gawain not like it? I mean, why is this man so hard to please? I offer him what every man wants, a chance to lie with a beautiful woman. But yet, he still declines? For 3 days now, all it has been is kisses. My husband has been out hunting every morning, leaving the two of us alone. What man would not jump at that opportunity? I have made myself as clear as possible. I want to lie with him. Am I losing my touch? I mean, I have never met a man that I could not seduce, until now, that is. I even did everything that Morgan said to do. Now, she may be a hag, but that woman knows a few good tricks. I mean, she is the best seductress that I have ever met. She seems like she could even make her brother lie with her if she wanted to. I follow her advice to the letter, and still, Gawain will not lie with me. He does not even seem comfortable kissing me. His kisses are always so brief, so he wants to get them over with as soon as possible. By the way, I always have to be the one to kiss him. He will never take charge and kiss first. And when I do kiss him, he always scurries off to give my kisses to my husband. my husband have something to do with this? I mean, Gawain does seem strangely loyal to him. He just met the man a few days ago, but he seems like he would do anything for him. You look more comfortable kissing my husband than kissing me. Is that just my imagination? Does he not lie with me because he'd rather be with my husband? No, that can't be it. He agreed to give my husband any gift he received during the day. That's the only reason why he was kissing my husband. That must explain why he will not lie with me, because if he were to lie with me and then he has to give every gift he received my husband... Wait a minute. What was my husband's plan? He set up this game. What was his goal? He wanted me to seduce Gawain to show that he is in fact impure, and he set up the trading of gifts with Gawain. So he wanted me to lie with Gawain, and then he wanted Gawain to give him every gift he received during the day.